Hey, it's good to see you today, friends. So glad you have tuned in or you're listening on your audio podcast. And today I have in the studio Kyle Embry. Hey, Kyle.
Yes, sir. How are you, Clay?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Doing well.
I like your shirt, man. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. You picked it up in San Antonio, is that right?
Yeah, San Antonio, Goodwill, $5. Still got the tags
There
on
you
it.
go. Barbara and I used to go to San Antonio twice a year. That was because it's so close, Drive down there, spend a night, come back. So I remember you started dating Janelle when you were a teenager. Is that accurate? Am I remember that right?
Yeah, we actually met each other in the 5th grade. Her dad just started pastoring in Irving in June, and my family started going in August. And so we've known each other since the 5th grade.
Wow.
Yep.
Now married?
Now married almost 25 years.
Two children?
2 kids, 19 and 16.
Mallory, right?
Yes, sir.
And she's a student at OU?
Yes, University of Oklahoma.
How did that happen, brother?
I have no idea because we've been Texas fans our whole life.
Till now, right?
Till now.
That's OU, right?
No, I'm not rooting for them at all.
Your son is Tyson?
Yes, sir.
So Tyson, you say 16?
He just turned 16.
Well, and he loves golf.
He's a golfer.
Is that his grandfather that caused that problem?
I think so. Grandpa Gerald, he did it all. Yeah.
Well, when you first started in ministry, you were a youth pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the church. I'm going to take a guess. Flower Mound?
Aurora First Assembly in Colorado.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Pastor Howard Cummings.
I totally forgot that.
Yep.
And then from there, you went to?
Richard Plunk,
Okay.
Dr. Richard Plunk in
Grace.
Grace Community at Flower Mound, Texas. Yes, sir.
And then you started a ministry called Youth Alive, am I right?
Kind of, sort of. Didn't start.
Okay.
Youth Alive's been around for a long, long time.
Okay.
But we filled in for Jeff Anderson in the district.
Oh, of course. Yeah, Jeff, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And did Youth Alive for 12 years with the North Texas District.
So what was that like?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, greatest job ever. Was able to speak to thousands and thousands of students and see them transformed and see them saved and filled the Holy Spirit. Got to work with camps, conventions, and retreats, and just a youth pastor's dream job.
So, but when your main focus was going into local high schools, am I correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And you would tell us what that looked like. Paint
Yes.
the picture.
So our big dream was the 7 Project, where we would rally local churches together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we'd go in and do school assemblies during the day, talk about, drugs and choices and partying and all that good stuff, bullying, mental health, which is the hot topics today. And then at night, we'd have a comeback service in the gym or the auditorium. And we'd bring all those churches together, have fun, games, food, all that kind of stuff, put a presentation together, and share the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Mental health. It's interesting you should mention that. I was just working with the mom here a few weeks ago, and little did I know that was one of the things, that was one of her biggest challenges in life. And this mom's probably, I don't know, maybe 30, maybe. And she mentioned mental health. So tell us about as far as the youth, and she said that was a big thing. Talk to us about mental health just for a second.
Yeah, I'm not definitely a psychologist or a doctor on it, but we would just kind of come in from the angle to help students cope with the decisions and the choices that they're making every day, to help them have a positive confidence in their mind and to be able to walk through and get help from others. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think mental health a lot of times will isolate you. You think you're on an island, you're all alone. But when you know that other people are going through the same things and you can reach out, I think that's the biggest tip.
Yeah.
Ask a friend. Go to lunch. Go grab a coffee and know that someone's fighting with you.
Yeah. I think that was one of the lessons from the pandemic is that we learned that community is really, really important. Yeah. And when the enemy gets us alone, he's got us where he wants us. You may realize this guy's been at this a long, long time.
Yes.
And when he gets us alone, then he makes us feel alone, even though we're not. Someone said something the other day that really stuck with me. He said, no matter where you're at, the Lord's with you.
Amen.
Now, we say that, but I'm not sure we think that. Because when you get alone, you're kind of going, And yet, even in the darkest hour, He's still there with us.
Yes.
Sometimes, though, we need. Someone put it this way. They said that we need a little flesh on Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You need a brother or sister in the Lord.
Amen.
That'll come along beside you and go, yeah, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You're not near as dumb as what the enemy wants you to think that you are.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've all done things that we wish we hadn't. We've all said things we went, gee, I can't believe that came out of my mouth, right? What was I thinking? Oh, I wasn't.
Yep. That's right. Well, I've had 3 best friends my entire life, and one of them's name's Jared, one's name's Matthew, and the other one Eli. And these are my go-to guys. They know everything about my life. My life is wide open in front of them. I don't blab all my dirty laundry with everyone on the streets and even anybody in my church. But these 3 friends of mine, those are the ones that help keep me mentally strong.
There you go. We all need somebody to be accountable to.
Yes.
When we first started Metro, the number one reason for a board, accountability.
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody that we can be accountable to, someone that we can trust, someone that we can be vulnerable, put this out there. I obviously in a little different stage of life right now. So my deal is I'm going, okay, am I thinking right on this? Am I thinking right?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I, just because of what's happened to me, my thinking a little skewed right now? And when you have someone in your life that you can trust, then you can be vulnerable to them. And we all need that.
Yep.
We all need somebody that we can talk to and go, okay, here's what's happening. Am I right? And if not, you got to give them the freedom to go, you got some stinking thinking here, son, right?
Yeah. Well, one of my best friends, Jared, he's my brother-in-law, he said this statement, I'll never forget it. He said, transparency is sharing with you what I've gone through and I've already overcome. I've already conquered it. I've dealt with those issues. But vulnerability is what I'm currently going through. And I haven't conquered it. I'm still struggling with this. And there's a difference between being transparent and vulnerable.
It's good. It's good. And as men, we're not vulnerable.
No, not at all. Closed books.
We got it all together.
Yep.
We're rock. We don't make any mistakes.
And we compartmentalize those parts of our life, too.
Oh, gee. Yeah. You can do that sometimes to a strength, but it can also be a liability.
Absolutely.
So, but today, though, you're executive pastor.
Yes, sir.
At Freedom Church.
Yes, sir. With
And,
Pastor Kendall Bridges.
Yeah, and that's important for me. A couple of reasons. One, Freedom was very instrumental in beginning Dallas Metro in the early days. And then secondly, you have taken on a new position at Dallas Metro. You're now our tournament director.
Yes.
Those are for the things that you did as teenagers. Now this is your penance. You get to pay for that today, right?
No, it's a privilege.
So we have a brand new, for those that don't know, tell us about our golf tournament.
Yeah, well, first, Clay, can I answer why I told you yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You reached out to me this time last year, and with the great Ed Frazier, and you guys kind of came and asked if I'd be interested in helping with the golf tournament. And I felt like in just a very short prayer, the Lord told me, if you don't do this, you're selfish. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. When you back up over my life, your ministry was kind of officed out of my father-in-law's church in Irving in the beginning phases. And I remember when I was dating Janelle, going to the church and seeing the buses and your team there and thinking just high praise of Dallas Metro. And then now I'm at a church where Dallas Metro is essentially started way back with Pastor Lee Lebsack and now current Pastor Kendall Bridges. And just the heartbeat of what Metro was. I think I've played in almost every one of your golf tournaments, and I've won it a few times. And just my love for the game of golf and the access I have to the golf culture through my son, I just felt like if I didn't do it and I didn't say yes to you, I would have, number one, been lazy and just downright selfish.
Well, thank you for not being lazy or selfish. Because Ed Ed has done a great job with our tournament,
Yes.
and Ed is a good friend and has been a good friend. He's been on this journey with me. He is my go-to, as you can imagine, go-to guy that I call to. He's the guy calling. Okay, Ed, am I thinking right today? Is what am I missing here, brother? Whatever, And so, and something that Maxwell said, John Maxwell, and this was back in the '80s, and he said you need many different speakers in your life. He says one person's not going to get it done. When you're a young man, you're not looking for 100 voices. You're looking for a voice. You know. But I found out he was correct. If you want to learn about leadership, then Maxwell's probably the guy that you want to talk to. But he'd be the first to tell you, if you want something about music, he may not be your guy. You know.
That's correct.
Yeah. So Ed's has been my go-to guy for my entire adult life.
Yeah.
And he's been a great friend. He was a great tournament director. Felt like it was time for. And I don't even. Do you like that word change? Most people don't.
No, not too much.
Yeah, I don't either. When I was a young man, which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't understand why people don't like change. As you get older, change is a little more challenging because it's unfamiliar. And anytime you're walking in the unknown, it makes you a little uncomfortable, And yet, Ed and I both felt that change was on the horizon, and no one else was even considered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I asked him. I said, "What do you think about Kyle Embry?" And he immediately said, "I think Kyle will be a great choice." I said, "I think you ought to talk to him." So that's how the conversation came about.
Well, I'm definitely honored.
Yeah, well, us too. Thank you for serving. We're glad to have you on the team. You make us better.
Oh, praise the Lord.
I'm grateful for that. Grateful for your servant's heart. We have a brand new venue this year for the tournament, Castle Hills. Tell us about that.
Yeah, one of the first things that Ed told me when we were working through this transition in 2023 was we got to change courses. And, we made it a matter of prayer. And with kind of the circumstances with golf taking off right now in the last 4 years since COVID, it's hard to get on courses. They've driven their rates up. And a lot of these big country clubs want to charge you an outlandish price and then charge you on top of that food and beverage. And we were able to, through some people in our church and just the favor of the Lord, to secure Castle Hills Country Club. It's actually called the Lakes at Castle Hills. It's a phenomenal golf course that opened up their doors to give us a great price and really help us with the food and beverage portion of that, which they normally do not do. And so we were very grateful and honored to have some connections and some favor to land the Lakes at Castle Hills.
Yeah. So for those who are watching today that like to play golf, we would love to have them come play golf with us. And I think that when they come, they'll see that we put on a great tournament. It's a lot of fun. There'll be some great prizes there. But that's really not the reason for the day, Dallas Metro, this is a tool that the Lord has used for, and both of us should know how many years we've been doing this golf tournament. And I have a feeling that neither one of us, if Chrissy was here, Chrissy could tell us
she would know
how many years we've been doing this golf tournament, right? So
I would think over close to 25 years.
I would think so. Probably, probably more than 25, but I'm not real sure. But I'm sure we'll get, when Chrissy watches this podcast, she'll be giving me a call going, "What's the matter with you? Why don't you know those important numbers?" I don't know. But the purpose of the tournament is to help sponsor the ministries of Dallas Metro. And for those who don't know Dallas Metro, which obviously you do, when we started there started officing there at the Tabernacle, we were doing our bread and butter was Sidewalk Sunday School, which is where the Ryder trucks come up, and it's got the sage cut out of it, and sound system, props, everything you need to take the gospel right there where the kids live. And so Tuesday through Friday after school, we have these after-school programs, and we bring the gospel to the neighborhoods right where the kids live. And we're in the same neighborhood at the same time each week. So every Tuesday, same place. Every Wednesday, the same. Thursday, Friday. Then our city's changed because of the growth that is taking place. So there's some neighborhoods. First off, they're so crowded. There's no place to even set a truck up. And then there's some areas that the density for children is not there. So we actually pick those kids up, different neighborhoods. We pick them up and we bring them to the lighthouse, and we're renting the facilities on Saturday morning. Same program, it's just indoors versus outdoors. So the purpose of this golf tournament is to sponsor Metro Kids, which is our after-school program for children. So everything that's made, all the profit from this tournament, helps us sponsor the next year. So, and this is the number one fundraiser that we have for Dallas Metro. So, and there's a lot of ways guys can get involved. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're first starting going back to an old idea you guys had several years ago called a spring preview. And so because not a lot of people have played Castle Hills, you and Chrissy and James says, what if we started a spring preview? And so on April 9th, we're going to do a free lunch that's already provided by one of our donors, and then lead out to some tea times in the afternoon to where everybody can see the golf course. You're going to give them a brilliant presentation and hopefully get them on a hook on a big sponsorship level to where their team will be secure. And we'll already, before the tournament starts, have a really solid financial base before we get to the main tournament, August 26th.
So today, if our goal today is to explain to them the pre-tournament, which is April 9th.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. Tuesday.
And that is taking place at Castle Hills.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come, have a light lunch.
No, it's going to be a heavy lunch.
Oh, heavy lunch.
Yeah, it's going to be a good lunch.
Okay.
All right.
It's worth a trip just up there just to get the lunch, right?
That's right.
And we would share with them about Dallas Metro, have some of our kids. That's the amazing thing that they'll see on that spring preview they'll not see in the fall. And that's this new generation of leaders that the Lord has raised up. And these are kids who have, either they've come through the ministry through our intern program, or they actually lived in the neighborhoods. And now they're on staff. And so they're going to get to meet these kids. They're not kids now. They're young adults, right?
Well, I think one of my favorite things about the tournament, Clay, is I've played probably 20 of these, is seeing the students, seeing the kids, seeing your team really work hard to serve, to get out there. And they're driving around in carts, and you guys even put some of the trucks on different hole locations. And at Castle Hills, we're also going to have the ability to do that. You come by and get a little drumstick ice cream and connect with your team. And your team's always there. They're always serving. And it makes a really, really good impression. And that's one of the things that sticks out to me about Dallas Metro.
A phrase that Matthew Barnett came up with probably 20 years ago, we get to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And as Christians, that's the opportunity the Lord has given to us. We get to serve. And that's how we feel about the children and their families that live in the inner city. And they will get to see this firsthand because they'll get to meet our team. They'll get to meet the kids that have grown up in the ministry. And then there'll be an opportunity for those who come at the pre-tournament, which is April the 9th, to sponsor the tournament that's going to take place in August 26th. 26th, thank you. Yes, sir. And the cost for the spring tournament, the pre-tournament, doesn't cost you a dime.
Yeah, it's free. We've already secured sponsorship.
Yeah, we're just asking you, those to come, to be a partner with us, sponsor for the fall tournament.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So if somebody wanted to get involved today, they could call our office. It's 214-67. No, that's not it. 214-744. 214-744-0848. Or you can go to our webpage, dallasmetro.org.
Yeah, and go under get ways to get involved, and there'll be a tab there for golf tournament. Click on that, and they can register for the spring tournament. And then also, if they want to go ahead and register for that fall tournament as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, I'm so glad that you have joined with us here today. I'm expecting, for those that have been to Castle Hill, it's a beautiful. As you said, we went out there I don't know, a few months ago and looked at it. It's an incredibly gorgeous place. The meal's going to be great.
Yes.
The office is going to be great. You get to meet our team.
Yep.
And you have the opportunity to partner with us for what the Lord's doing in the inner city of Dallas. I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Win.
Well, it's still the same team. It's still the same organization. It's still the same cause. It's just a little nicer golf course, which will improve the likability and the fun that each of the golfers will have.
And it's a challenging course, too.
Yes. Yeah, they host some Corn Ferry tournaments and different qualifiers. It's a top-level, top-notch DFW course.
Yeah. It's going to be a good day.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, thanks for being here today.
You're very welcome.
So appreciate you leading for us and serving on our team. We're honored to be on our team. Hey, folks, I'm so glad that you joined with us today. Let me encourage you to go to our webpage, dallasmetro.org. Click on, help me again here, Kyle. Click on
Get involved.
Get involved, and then click on golf tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can click on the pre-tournament, which is April the 9th. Or you can go ahead and register for the tournament that's going to take place on August the 26th. I will tell you that the pre-tournament is filling up. I think there's a maximum of 25. Is that not correct? There's only a maximum of 25 people, and we're already at 16.
Yes, sir.
That number will probably be higher by the time this is aired. So I would encourage you to either call our office or kick through our webpage, and we'll have Kyle or Chrissy, one of our team, will contact you and get you set up. Appreciate you watching today. Hope to see you next week. God bless you, friends. Bye-bye.